Found out my $150,000 college trust fund had my cousin's name on it, not mine. My grandfather set that trust up the year I was born, funded through his contracting business, meant to cover 4 years of tuition the day I turned 18. My Uncle Gary took over managing it after my grandfather's stroke, and every time I asked about it, he said the same thing. It wasn't ready yet, the paperwork was still settling. Be patient. So I believed him. I worked the front desk at a Marriott near campus and closed shifts at a call center 3 nights a week, 40 hours combined most weeks, on top of a full course load. By graduation, I'd taken out $27,500 in federal loans and the rest in private loans through Sallie Mae, adding up to exactly $150,000 by the time I walked the stage. Grandfather told me himself more than once on Sunday dinners, that money is yours. It's already handled. Don't worry about school. I believed a man who built a business from nothing and never once broke a promise to me before. My grandmother passed in March, and I spent a weekend at her house helping my mom sort through her things before the estate sale. I went through a shoebox of old cards and letters to pull material for the eulogy. Nothing more than that. Near the bottom sat a sealed envelope from a law firm in town, addressed to my grandfather, dated the year I turned 10. My hand stopped on the flap. I set it down on the bed slowly instead of tearing it open, then picked it back up and read it, standing still in the middle of the room. The letter listed the trust's exact terms: sole beneficiary, my full name, funds released at 18, no conditions beyond that. Tucked behind the letter was a photo I'd never seen. Me, at maybe 6 years old, standing outside a Wells Fargo branch holding my grandfather's hand, both of us squinting at the camera the day he opened the account. Behind that, a thank you card from my cousin Brianna to Uncle Gary, dated my sophomore year of college, thanking him for covering her tuition deposit at Marlowe Prep. The two pieces sitting together told me everything the letter alone couldn't. I didn't call Gary. I drove to his office 2 days later with the letter in a folder and sat across from his desk while he finished a phone call. He set his pen down slow once he saw the folder, then leaned back and let out a long breath before he looked me straight on. Brianna's got a learning difference, you know that. The tutoring alone at Marlowe ran us almost $60,000 over 4 years, and your grandfather would have wanted her taken care of just as much as you. But it's not like it didn't turn out fine anyway, working for it. You've got a degree, you've got a job, you built character doing it the hard way instead of having it handed to you. The loans are your problem now, not mine, and I'd rather not make this uglier than it needs to be over money you clearly didn't even need. I folded the letter back along its original crease and slid it into my bag without a word. I nodded once, stood up, and pushed the chair in behind me before I left his office. Before I called anyone, I sat in my car in the parking lot and thought about what filing a claim would actually cost. My mom had just split the funeral bill with Gary 3 weeks earlier, $4,000 each. Brianna had already used a version of that money toward her first semester of law school. Thanksgiving was 6 weeks away, and every seat at that table would know by then. None of that changed my answer. I called an estate attorney named Renata Cole the next morning and brought her the letter, the photo, and the thank you card. She filed a formal claim with the trust's holding bank the following Tuesday, citing me as sole named beneficiary per the original 2009 document. On Thursday, she requested the full 6 years of account statements from the bank, 31 pages showing 3 separate withdrawals routed to Marlowe Prep's tuition office. At 10:10 that morning, her paralegal called to confirm the claim had been logged with the probate court. At 10:40, the bank's trust department called back requesting the original letter for verification. By 2:15 that afternoon, Renata told me the bank was treating it as a clear case and recommending the funds be returned with statutory interest calculated from the date I turned 18. When Gary called to ask if I was really going through with it, I told him fine is exactly what I'll be once it comes back with interest. I hung up before he could answer, opened my loan servicer's app, and started the paperwork to pause my payments while the claim processed. I walked out to the driveway still holding my phone, dialing my mom to tell her what Renata had said, while somewhere across town, Gary was still sitting with a phone in his hand and nothing left